Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from astrolada.com. And today I have a very special surprise for you. This was a guest who was here once before on the channel. His name is Thomas Gazis. He's an astrologer. We had an interview 6, 7 months ago with him about the Great American Eclipse, where he made some correlations with similar eclipses that had happened over the Byzantine Empire 1,000
Yes.
years ago. That was fascinating. Hello, Thomas Gazis. How are you?
Hello, dear Lada. I'm fine, thank you, and thank you so much for your invitation.
Uh, this interview went, we had like 100,000 people watching it. They were fascinated
Really?
by what a lot, maybe 50, I'm not sure, I haven't checked. Uh, People were fascinated by what you had to say, but now Thomas will speak on much more personal astrology called Latent Synastry. Synastry is the combination between two charts, whether you're compatible, whether you can live with this person, how the energies will go. And I'm very excited for this presentation. Before we start, I want just to make a small presentation about Thomas so you can see what an amazing astrologer he is. I'll read
Thank you.
it. Thomas Gazis is a Greek astrologer, writer, and international speaker. He has authored 2 books in Greek, while one in English is under publishing. He has extensively lectured among all over Europe and written articles for American Astrology, Horoscope Guide, the Astrological Journal, the ESAR International Astrologer, etc. In 2001, he organized in Greece Astromykonos International Conference, featuring, among other international speakers, Robert Hand and Noel Till. These are huge names, as everyone knows. He was invited as a main speaker in the UAC 2012 Astrology Conference in New Orleans and as a backup speaker in the Chicago UAC 2018. In 2023, he hosted the 5th European Astrology Conference in Athens. He's currently is the ESAR GD for Greece. And he's been analyzing charts for more than 30 years. If you want experience, you have it all. So, Thomas, I'm very excited about what you're going to present to us today.
Thank you. I'm excited too because this is a new method. It's a method that, let's say, I have somehow invented, having too much areas. It's so important to me to get into new territories all the time. I'm bored if I'm in the usual path. I have to find my own path. So I think I have invented a little bit this technique. I haven't seen anybody else practicing it. And there are already 15 years that I've been writing articles about this pioneering technique in American synastry sites and other sites as well. I've been teaching this technique and I've been practicing it to my synastry customers, people interested in their relationship with amazing results. Because, you know, Lada, this is a technique that doubles the potential of conventional synastry because I'm not against conventional synastry. It's very good. It's perfect. But thanks to this technique, we double the interpretation potential. And I will show you some examples to make you realize how much power there is in this technique. Can I open up my PowerPoint a little bit?
Yes,
It's a
please share it
it,
with us. Yeah.
it's a little bit formal. As I told you, as in areas, most talks I do like this. I'm just talking, no PowerPoints, because that's a little bit Capricornian or Virgonian preparing a PowerPoint.
I
But
totally hear you, Thomas. I'm also an Aries. So
yeah,
I
so
I
you
have to do new
understand.
things all the time to be spontaneous.
Yeah.
PowerPoints are my enemy.
So let's discount a little bit my areas and become Virgo, Capricorn more methodic. And so to people this PowerPoint. I'm opening it up. Are you transmitting it?
You have to click share screen.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry for that. I will do it.
Connected.
Share screen, yes. Share screen. This is. So am I transmitting right now?
Yes, I see it.
Perfect. Latent Synastry, the subtitle is The Secret Fuel of Love, because it's somehow secret. You don't pick it up right away when you study a synastry. Okay, let's do a little bit of theory first. And latent synastry is a groundbreaking technique that I have personally introduced and practiced to the glory of my Aries ego. I'm telling these things. It is a powerful technique that enables us to detect crucial compatibility elements in a relationship that conventional synastry typically misses. No, not that. Yes, right? Oh, I've been missing a few pages over here. Never mind. Okay. Let me show you 4 couples that are highly discordant, but still they have been the majority of the cases in my practice as synastry astrologer for many decades. I have had many Leo Scorpio couples. To my amazement, initially, because I came from, the conventional school that Aries is matched with Sagittarius and Leos. So how comes we have a match between a Leo and a Scorpio, or between a Taurus and an Aquarius,
Oh,
between a, yeah?
absolutely. I'm Aries. My husband is Cancer, and it's the best relationship I've had in my life. And they're supposed
See?
square. Our moon square exactly to the degree. Our sun's
Whoa.
nothing. We don't fight. We get along amazing.
I should have taken your synastry as an example because it's perfect. But I got a Aries Cancer couple. I've got one. You will see it. Then Capricorn Libra, strange, odd couple, and even Gemini, Virgo, Gemini Pisces. And these are discordant matches, but still, all my practice as synastry astrologer, I've been having couples like this. Not anymore, I'm surprised. If a couple comes over and the basic signs are discordant, I'm fine right now. And I'm telling myself that might be a great couple. Let me just probe their synastry. Let me dive in that synastry and realize what are the powerful points in their synastry. It's all right, their sun signs are discordant, or even their moon signs sometimes. So let me get you the first couple, which is, I'm old school. I'm not like 20 years old. So my paradigm is very old. It's like 1970s decade, 1980s. These were my heroes, my preferred actors and actresses, and maybe younger generations never heard of this couple, which you can see it's a beautiful couple. It's a couple in love. That's important. You can see in their eyes how much in love they are, how much passion there is there. They are 2 famous Hollywood actors, uh, Ryan O'Neal and Farrah Fawcett. that was a passionate, super duper couple back in the 70s, the 80s. And they were passionately together. Then they were breaking up clamorously, and they were making it up again and again, breaking up and making it up. They couldn't live apart, and they wanted to be together all over again. So there is power there. You know, that's a powerful synastry for sure. Um, Ryan even stayed with Fawcett when she became ill, and he took care of her, meaning that there was love. Because if it's not true love and it's an infatuation, you don't care about your ex-partner getting ill. You say, "Oh, I'm not gonna get in bad vibes over here, visiting my ex-partner in the hospital and getting all these negative bad vibes. Forget about it." But if you love your ex-partner, you're gonna assist your ex-partner even in difficult times, even in her illness. And Ryan and Fawcett experienced this kind of love, which is deeper. So the fact is, though, that Ryan is an Aquarius, Ryan is a Taurus, and Farah is an Aquarius. So how
Can you
comes,
share the chart or something? Because we don't.
yes, right away. This is Ryan's chart. You can see he is a
Uh, nothing
sub,
is showing. Nothing.
nothing.
No.
Well, let me
It's
try it.
staying on Latent Synastry, the secret fuel of love, the first.
Let me try again. Let me try again.
Okay. I will
Let me
pause the record. Ah, okay. Now we see it.
Now
Perfect.
you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Ryan. And as you can see, he's a super duper Taurus. He's got Sun, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus in Taurus. So he couldn't be any stronger Taurus that he actually is. Of course, he has an Aquarius moon that justifies him being with an Aquarius lady, but they are far deeper and stronger affinities over here, as you will see. Let's move on to Farah Fawcett's
Mm-hmm.
chart, and you can see she's an Aquarius, and she has a Cancer, Moon, and Ascendant. So no Taurus at all, no earthy signs,
Oh yeah.
but
Nowhere.
there are some intricacies. Let me turn back to Ryan, and if you can notice, Ryan's stellium in Taurus is overactivating his 11th house. Can
Exactly.
you see that?
Yes.
It overactivates the 11th house,
Yes.
which archetypally is similar as energy to the sign of Aquarius.
Yes.
Don't get me misunderstood here, because signs and houses are not the same. They're two different concepts. In astrology, houses are quite different from the signs, the respective signs, but there is an archetypal similarity, and I'm stressing the term archetypal similarity between a house and its respective sign.
What is this
So
word? Archetypal or what does it?
archetypal, yeah.
Okay.
My pronunciation was
Ah,
wrong.
not.
Sorry for that.
Mind use the
Archetypal.
used. How the astrologers here have accent on our channel.
Yeah, yeah, I've watched your videos, yeah, and I'm glad that most astrologers have accents, so I'm, cool right now. Okay, so archetypal similarity between the sign of Aquarius and the 11th house. So by telling this, we understand that Ryan O'Neill is not just a Taurus, but in a certain way, he's an Aquarius too, having this huge emphasis in his 11th house. And you can see that he has got a Aquarius moon as well. So in a certain way, he is a strong Aquarius with an Aquarius moon. Certainly, he would have an Aquarius lady in his life. And Farrah Fawcett was the top of the pops. It was the best partner or the most passionate partner that he was crazy about. No other partner in his life was that significant as Farrah Fawcett, right?
Yes.
And if we move on to Farrah Fawcett's chart, under the same token, Farrah Fawcett is a strong Aquarius. You can see that she has a Aquarius Sun and Mars in Aquarius and all these Aquarius elements. But at the same time, all her Aquarius planets are falling in her 8th house, which archetypally corresponds to the sign of
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Yes.
So in this way, Farrah Fawcett is somehow converted into a Scorpio lady.
Yes.
Thanks to the archetypal similarity between the 8th house and the sign of Scorpio.
Yes.
And Scorpios are a great match to Tauruses.
Opposites attract.
Exactly. They are great couples like Alain Delon and Mireille Dar. They were a great couple. Usually, Tauruses and Scorpios make great couples and persistent, steady couples. They stay together for long periods because they like each other. Their energies fit. They are feminine signs, they are introvert signs, and they are passionate sexual signs, and they match very well, both Taurus and Scorpio. And we discover here that Farrah Fawcett somehow is a Scorpio, while we previously discovered that Ryan O'Neill is a ultra-potent Aquarius.
Where is energy? Yeah.
That's the latent synastry. If we
Yes.
studied their synastry in a conventional way, we will lose these intricacies. And we will say, okay, maybe Ryan O'Neill has an Aquarius moon, but he's not really, harmonic to Farrah Fawcett. They don't match well. But in reality, they match pretty well, amazingly well, as we can see. And there is even more stuff. If we move on, we have the synastry between Ryan O'Neill in the inner circle. Can you see the synastry?
Yes, yes.
And Farrah Fawcett in the outer circle. And you can see here that Farrah Fawcett's Sun and Mars and Mercury are all falling in Ryan O'Neill's 8th house.
The Scorpio energy.
Scorpio energy. And you know what I have realized out of my practice? It doesn't matter what kind of sun signs you have or moon signs you have. If the 8th house is energized in your synastry, you're gonna you're gonna merge with the other person. You're gonna become one, irrespective of the sun signs, moon signs. there is such a tremendous power in the eighth house, a tremendous power. And people come close, they are drawn together, and they merge, and they not only they merge, but they are squeezed to become one, fully one in the eighth house. That's amazing squeezing power, in brackets squeezing,
Yeah.
because two individuals with their own egos and their own personal stories, they really become as one as two human beings can be when they activate the eighth house in their synastry. That's an amazing power. You just get, you
Yes.
become one amazingly and powerfully, and you feel you cannot unstuck afterwards because you became one with that person, so he is, she is in your soul, and you're going to be with that person constantly. You feel more powerful when you are with this person, and that's an amazing thing. And out of the thousands of synastries I have studied, that's the main theme in the synastries that are powerful, and in the couples they love each other and they stay together for many years. I often discover a strong eighth house emphasis. That's the secret, in my opinion,
Yes.
of keeping people together. It
Can I
might
ask
be,
you, can you
yes,
you do it just by aligning one chart on top of the other by will, or can you also look at composite chart where you merge charts
yeah,
into one to look if there is eighth house emphasis, for example?
yeah, definitely. I do that. Composites are important, but I believe over imposing the one chart over the other, having this kind of synastry, is more illustrative of the power of the synastry. Definitely, you can add the composite chart, and you will get additional info, but already there is so much info, and you can dive deep in a synastry thanks to these big whales, synastric big whales. They are very powerful. And, sometimes it's the eighth house, sometimes it's Pluto, but definitely when there is much scorpionic, plutonic, eighth house energy
Uh,
in a couple, the people get, and they become one.
That's very true. My the longest relationship that we got together back, breaking, coming back together for over 9 years.
Yes.
All his planets were in Virgo in my eighth house. And now
See?
currently with my husband, we don't activate anything in our eighth houses, but my Pluto is on his ascendant, his Pluto is square mine. So
Not a coincidence. It's
yeah.
not a coincidence. So, but you see over here that Farah Fawcett's sun is tightly conjuncting Ryan's Mars. And we are Martian people. I've got a lot of areas in my chart, and it's not the best thing in a relationship having too much Mars, because you don't compromise. And the secret of a relationship is also learning to compromise, because you cannot stay in a relationship. You cannot have a good quality relationship unless you learn to compromise. But Mars doesn't compromise. Never. It attacks. And it attacks, very aggressively sometimes, and very one-sided. So that's why they had all these breaking ups, and make it up again, and then breaking up and making up again, and all this cycle of being together and being apart. And of course, Ryan being Taurus played its role as well, but there was so much depth and merging power in their relationships that there they could not stay apart. They had so much passion and depth. It's not just sex, because the eighth house produces feelings and emotions, very deep feelings and emotions that you have never felt. You know, many people are rising in families where their parents are cold and they didn't have much love and attention as kids and babies and young adolescents. And then they meet somebody that loves them, that gives them all the attention and the feelings. And feelings and emotions are generated, strong feelings and emotions, and they drive you crazy because you never had these feelings and emotions in your cold family environment or in your earlier life. And you get really excited about those feelings and emotions. And the eighth house is a craftsman in producing feelings and emotions of a couples for a couple. I mean, it doesn't generate family feelings and emotions, the eighth house. On the contrary, it's against family. The eighth house is a very important um, sector of the chart to push adolescents to abandon their families and get out to find a partner. You know, like 15, 16 young girls or young boys, why should they leave the security of their family and the love and emotion they are receiving from their daddy or their mother? But you know, in their selves, they have this need to get out and find a partner, a love partner, maybe a sexual partner. That's so powerful that young people get out of the house like crazy, to the
Yes.
cafeteria, to the pub, to the bar, because you don't go to the bar to just to have a, you know, intellectual discussion. You
Oh,
go to flirt and find somebody, a partner, right? If you're
yeah.
free, that's your main goal. And that's why I'm telling here that, oh no, my cat is playing piano. That's a sign that she wants to get out. Please give me just 5 seconds. I'm coming back.
My cat is.
Thank you.
This is such a simple.
Ela na mute.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see, swap their charts and
His chart inside, hers outside.
yeah. And the same thing is going here. All the stellium of Ryan O'Neill is falling in the 11th house of Farah Fawcett. And this is a determining factor because Ryan O'Neill is turning Farah Fawcett that way into a more Aquarian person that she is. And as a reflection of that, because an intimate relationship is a kind of mirror reflecting back the energies. As a reflection of this, Fawcett is turning Ryan O'Neill into an Aquarian person. There is a strong Aquarius emphasis in their synastry, and this big wheel clearly shows it that there is a strong Aquarian emphasis. Then his Ryan's natal moon is falling in the 9th house of Farah, thankfully, because the 9th house is the forgiving house, is a house of higher awareness and, you know, illumination. when you get more cultivated and elevated in life. You study, you read, you forgive people more, and this is difficult to do because we don't forgive easily, and especially in our intimate relationships, we don't forgive our partner because if you take the theory of astrology, in the seventh house, our partner is represented, but at the same time, the seventh house is the house of our open enemy. So you see how wise astrology is? The very partner that we love and we share our life and we are together, maybe we have spent decades together and we have kids and we love and you know, at the same time is our open enemy. He or she is an enemy. That goes without saying. That's astrology's fundamental theory, that your partner is your open enemy because two partners have two different egos, and its ego wants to destroy the other. That's the ego's job. Egos are somehow Aries stuff. That's the ego job. The ego doesn't want to compromise. It wants to defeat the enemy. And we are living with partners whose ego is hostile to ours and tries to defeat us. And we are trying to defeat that ego. Thankfully, we have some love and tenderness and understanding, and that makes us a better couple. But still, a ninth house emphasis is important to a couple because it's mainly a house of illuminating, uprising people and making them forgive their partner, because an intimate relation might make you mad. I mean, you love your wife and suddenly you see your wife talking to another man and she's laughing like crazy, and you know that laughter is something erotic. It has an erotic element. And you say, what's going on? My wife is talking to that man and she's laughing at him while she rarely laughs at my jokes and she's laughing like crazy with this man. What's going on? I'm gonna, you know, slap that man or slap my wife. I cannot stand that. It's so easy to get jealous in an intimate relationship because so many energies, emotional, soul energies are released. And an intimate relationship is a scorpionic thing. It's always passionate. It's larger, yeah, and it's larger, more vital than we think. Even if we think, okay, I'm having a casual relationship with this person, we have great sex, and we will be together for a few weeks, that's fine. It's deeper than that. Always when you come close to another human being, deeper energies are developed around this couple, no matter how trivial and superficial the relationship seems to be.
Absolutely.
So, yes, ninth house is very important in a couple.
Can I ask you something, Thomas? Do you
Yes.
always use Placidus house system for this? Or can you use whole sign house system, for example, as well to check?
I don't use whole house systems in synastry. I usually use Placidus. I compromise with Koch, but you know, we are creatures of habitude. I've been practicing astrology using mostly Placidus or Koch house systems. I have not practiced and researched the other houses, but whole house system, I don't practice at all. I don't think it's viable in modern astrology or in synastry. Sometimes I tried and I got not very enthusiastic results, and I abandoned it, coming down to modern astrology.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I use mostly work with old methods of astrology. So the whole sign house system is good for them, like perfections and so on. But for more psychological astrology, you would recommend Placidus.
absolutely. Yeah, I think so.
No, now that makes sense because me and my husband, we like he's water and earth, I'm fire and air. Everything is
Wow. Yeah.
but it's I have, according to Placidus, four planets, all my personal planets, in the second house, and he's a
You're
Taurus moon.
you
So that
you you're a Taurus, actually. Archetypally, you're a Taurus.
hmm, interesting.
See, that's latent synastry in all its majesty. I should have done your example, yours and your husband's example. It's a wonderful example. And it was a coincidence talking with you and you having such a powerful latent synastry with your husband. That's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Okay, let's move on. I've been a romantic youngster and I always loved this couple. This is Amedeo Modigliani, the famous Italian painter who moved into France in Paris in a magical era for artists. You know, Paris in late 19th century was fermentation and interesting people coming from Spain, England, Germany, all over the world to Paris. It was the
The
hub.
yeah, the Belle Epoque period.
Yeah, amazing with a lot of drinking and freestyle love making, which was unique and liberating. And people in their own countries they didn't conduct that kind of life. But in Paris, you could do everything. You were liberated and you had an exciting life, often short life. Many of the artists died young, and Modigliani died young, but he was a womanizer. He was a Cancer, and as you can see, good looking, rather good looking, and a painter. So women get fascinated by artists, by
Mm.
painting their portraits, etc. A painter has many tricks to conquer a woman. It's already in an advanced position being an artist, and a good-looking artist can
And,
have many women.
and a Cancer that, like my husband calls himself, Cancer douche.
Ah,
They're
yeah.
sensitive, moody, and they can draw you in.
Oh, yeah. So he's a Cancer, and this young lady who unfortunately died young sees strong areas, and her moon is in Libra. She was a painter as well, and that is justified by her Libra moon being a painter, and she was rather a good painter. And she was an apprentice to Modigliani. Modigliani met her, and of course, you know, he got interested in her, and they became a couple fast, very soon. But of course, he was cheating on her, the classical life of an artist, feeling free and liberated, and cheating a little bit on his partner. The fact is that they have a very discordant synastry. If we examine their synastry in the traditional, conventional way, conventional synastry, so we have to understand what's going on. How comes a highly discordant couple became one of the most famous, passionate, full of love couples. And this young lady, Zan Heburtin, was totally devoted to Modigliani because, again, Modigliani got sick and she took care of him. And when Modigliani died, after a while, Zan jumped over from her balcony and committed suicide because apparently she could not live without Modigliani. He was the love of her life, and she couldn't move on. So she committed suicide to be with Modigliani. So that's an impossible couple, Modigliani and Cancer. Let's see Modigliani's elements. He has Venus in Cancer as well, Mercury in Cancer, too much Cancer. And then his moon is in Pisces, which is the artistic part. Probably his moon is conjuncting the cusp of his seventh house, and that would give him tremendous artistic capacity, you know, having the moon over the cusp of the seventh house or in the seventh house is archetypally like having the moon in Libra.
Oh, yeah.
And that might be a latent synastric element, Zan Herbutin having her moon in Libra, and somehow Modigliani archetypally having his moon in Libra. But we will see other elements as well. As we have already explored the O'Neill Fawcett case, Modigliani has a stellium in his 11th house, and that means that archetypally he's somehow an Aquarius as well, right? He's not just a Cancer. He is an Aquarius. And adding to that, he has Mars-Uranus conjunction in his first house, giving him some very original, authentic, and somehow revolutionary energies in his chart. And if you will see Modigliani's paintings, you realize how pioneering he was, because, you know, he was painting all these faces, elongated faces, very strange, alien kind of faces, unique and pioneering in that era. And everybody, if he sees a Modigliani painting, goes right away, that's a Modigliani. You cannot, you know, confuse and say that's the work of somebody else. 100% you can tell that's Modigliani. He was that authentic and pioneering. And Cancers are not like that. I'm sorry for my Cancer friends, but you might be a Cancer and have authentic elements in your chart, and you might become pioneering. But in Modigliani's case, he was an Aquarius archetypally as well, due to this stellium in his 11th house and the Mars-Uranus conjunction, right? And Aquarius. And you know, Aquarius is much better with ladies having a Libra moon, because Aquarius and Libra match pretty well. And even to the Aries sign, Aquarius is forming a sextile, and it becomes more viable, a synastry between a Cancer man who has too much Aquarius with an Aries lady. Let's see Zan Herbutin's, which is a tragic figure. I mean, she was so devoted, such a young lady, and she was having Modigliani's child in in here. She was about to give birth to Modigliani's child when
And
she
she
committed
jumped, and she
what
jumped pregnant.
yeah,
Oh my
she committed a suicide while being pregnant because she could not live anymore without Modigliani. And I don't know, maybe psychologically she was too fragile. But yeah, let's see. She's a powerful area. She shouldn't be that fragile. But as you can see, her sun is in the sixth house, archetypally turning her into a Virgo. And Modigliani's ascendant is a Virgo, while her moon is in the 12th house, archetypally turning her into a Pisces. So maybe we begin to understand why she was that fragile, because she didn't need to commit suicide. She had Modigliani's baby in her belly, so she could give birth to Modigliani's child and live with his memory through his kid. That would mean something, having the kid of Modigliani. But oddly enough, she committed suicide. Anyway, let's see their synastry. And here we have again the key point of a powerful relationship. We have her sun falling in the 8th house of Modigliani. What I told you, that I've been seeing all my life in couples who really love each other, who are passionate about each other, and they have stayed together for many years, and still they have passion and strong feelings for each other. I so often find a 8th house domification in their signs again and again and again. And it doesn't surprise me anymore by now. You see, that's very powerful. They merge so strongly and they became one and they devoted themselves to each other. In particular, Herr Bhutan devoted totally her young self to Modigliani, even when he was sick. She was so devoted to him. And that's amazing because regarding her lights, sun and moon, she was totally discordant to Modigliani. Totally. I mean, she
Yeah,
couldn't be.
they don't even have aspects with the moons there
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Pisces and
exactly.
Libra, but both of them,
And
yeah, absolutely, I understand. He's in the seventh house, makes him like a moon in Libra. Hers in the 12th house, her moon makes her like a moon in Pisces.
yeah, exactly. And Modigliani has a Pisces moon, and that's another latent synastry element, secret. They somehow both have Pisces moons. So they were very artistic and sensitive. And another secret in latent synastry is the second house. I mean, the axis, second house, 8th house,
Mhm.
is of paramount importance in synastries. People mostly know the 8th house, but the second house is important as well because, you know, it archetypally corresponds to Taurus, which is a Venusian sign, a Venus sign, and Venus is all about relationships and bringing people together and uniting them. But the second house has its own way of uniting two persons slowly in time, not right away. It just probes the energies and then it soothes, it calms down the egotistical parts. That's a magic trick of Taurus and second house, calming down and leveling the spiking egotistical energies, because that's the main obstacle between two people living together. My spiking egotistical energies are killing my partner, and her spiking egotistical energies are killing me. And we have to somehow, smooth them up,
Yeah.
smooth these spiking energies. And the secret is that the second house is doing this job, and people don't know about it. That it's smoothing up the spiking egotistical energies, and that's so important. It's another key figure to a relationship, to smooth up the spiking egotistical energies of the two members of the relationship, because otherwise they're going to split really fast
Mm-hmm.
unless they smooth up their egotistical energies. So,
It's very interesting because in Vedic astrology, for example, second house is the family. It's not the fourth. The fourth is your parents and mom. The second is the family you create. So again,
yeah, see,
because
yeah, there's an interconnection between all astrologers.
Mhm.
So, plus the second house is a place where you get roots. You is like plants, like two plants. The
Exactly.
other person makes her own roots in you, and you make your own roots in the other person. So you cannot split easily because your
Mhm.
partner has roots in you, and you feel really pain to split with that person, with that person, because habitude, daily life, rituals you do together every single day keeps you together and create roots between you two, and thus you become one. You need so much, because the second house is not a merging house. Taurus is not a merging sign. It's a highly individualistic sign, but he has the craft, and he's very capable of working in relationships due to the fact that he is ruled by Venus. So he knows many secrets of love, a Taurus person or
The
a second
Taurus,
house.
the second.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And it's a feminine sign. And, feminine signs are deeper. Like masculine signs are, very powerful externally. They release so much powerful energy externally, but that doesn't mean much. You may release powerful energies internally. People don't need to see your powerful energies. Just release them in your private life, in your intimate relationship, in your family, in your financial interactions. You release so much power there, nobody can see that power. It doesn't mean you have powerful masculine energies, you're powerful. Feminine energies are equally powerful,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there is a power of united and keeping together two individuals for long periods, very long periods. If you see a synastry with a second house emphasis, you might conclude that these people, these individuals are together for a long period, or they will
Mm-hmm.
stay together for a long period,
Wow.
right? Because that's the nature of the second house. They acquire roots in each other, and
Absolutely.
this keeps keeps them together, and they grow together like plants.
Yes. And
Yeah,
there is shared values there when there is second house activation, of course,
yeah,
as well.
that's a major theme in keeping them together, that they share values. Exactly.
Can I ask you something, Thomas? I see that both they have like, what do you think? I'm curious because you have a brilliant mind and different
Thank you.
outlook. The South Node of Modigliani is conjunct Jan's sun, and so is her south node conjunct Modigliani's sun. It's a double whammy, as they call it, south node connection. How would
Yeah.
you how would you feel about that when you see such a double whammy, especially with the south node?
Yeah, I don't see it in the superficial modern way that they interpret. Not, and good for you that you notice this. That's a crucial element in their synastry. The nodes axis and the sun and moon of Herbutern touching Modigliani's axis, nodal axis, and even Modigliani's sun conjuncting Herbutern's south node. There is so much nodal energy in their synastry. I rather prefer, the Rahu Ketu interpretation.
Yes.
Like, it's a dragon and Rahu is the head, the hungry head that always wants to eat. And Ketu is the code that wants to assimilate rather eating voraciously and continuously,
Mhm.
like doing something deeper.
Mhm.
And then I know that the nodes are important in relationships, and even astronomically, the nodes are important because they are the intersection of the ecliptic with such a personal planet as the moon. So they mean a lot to an individual, the nodes. They are related to, experiences of karma and all this. And they tie up two individuals in ways they cannot even understand because there is so much more there than
Mhm.
they think it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's definitely whoever believes in past lives would know that these two people have been together before. Maybe that's why
yeah,
she couldn't
yeah,
move on.
yeah. Sometimes you get this feeling that I definitely know this person. I mean,
Mhm.
they are so discordant right away when Herbutin went to his studio because he was her teacher, painting teacher, her master. They clicked right away and they became a couple really fast.
Yeah.
How comes? I mean, okay, she was younger and she's a beautiful areas, but they clicked fast as if they knew each other and they devoted each other to their
Mhm.
partner. And that was amazing. And it has to do with this nodal axis overactivated by Herbutern and Modigliani.
And in Vedic astrology, the north node is obsessive energy, and I've seen it over and over. Moon with the moon of one person with the node of another, or sometimes Venus. That there's more emotionally connecting planets with the north node of the other. There is this obsessive almost connection. I
Exactly.
think they also Madonna and Sean Penn had them going both ways. His north node on her moon, her north node on his moon. They kept coming together, breaking up, coming together.
Yeah.
They couldn't. It's irrational. It's but
Yeah, but too egotistical, both of them. I mean, they are Leonian and too egotistical. Even, I mean, she's old by now and she's acting as she were a young girl. I mean, here signs are young signs. Leo and Virgo, because she has a Virgo moon, are, kids. They
Mhm,
represent the childhood
mhm,
phase in somebody's life. And Virgo is the little girl, the little innocent girl.
exactly.
But she acts like if she were a young girl.
Yeah.
This is not anymore. Son Penn was so macho man, brutal man with so much macho energy, Leonian, dominating energy that was hitting up. The journalists were breaking up the face of a photographer. Too much testosterone, too much masculine energy in him. So, but Madonna is too masculine as well. So you understand they couldn't stay together. Let's see another element over here, and it's important as well, and we are closing our examples. That's the last part of my talk over here. And it's, you can see that Modigliani's stellium, Cancer stellium, is falling in Herbuturn's ninth house. And the ninth house, I'm stressing again, is important in a relationship because it's all about forgiving. Forgiveness is so important, and like accepting the other person far beyond your lower feelings and emotions, like I feel jealousy, she's younger than me, she might cheat on me. You just stay put and you say, okay, we are together, we love each other. She's not gonna cheat me. I'm gonna do my work and go outside, or I'm gonna leave here, go to a bar or a friend's pub or whatever, and she won't meet another man and make sex with him because I trust her. She loves me. She's not going to do that, right? That's important. Out of ninth house energy is elevated energy, and it's a forgiving energy, the ninth house energy. And last thing that I would like to stress, because there are other intricacies, other latent synastric elements, minor, but this last one is important. Modigliani's moon is falling synastrically in Herbuturn's fourth house. You can see that. That's Modigliani's moon in Pisces. And it is falling in her fourth house. You know, the fourth house is archetypally corresponding to the sign of Cancer. So somehow Modigliani is turning her Butard in. I got a bad pronunciation in French. I'm sorry. I'm good in Italian, but not very good in French. Modigliani is turning his partner into a Cancerian one this way by by his moon falling in her fourth house, a house archetypally corresponding to the sign of Cancer. He is converting her into a Cancer. And that's important because he himself is a Cancer. And we talked about the eighth house, we talked about the second house, which are very important in a relationship. But let me finish my talk talking a little bit about the fourth house emphasis in the synastry. The fourth house is amazing as well because it's a very emotional environment, and it produces so many and warm and sweet emotions because there is sweetness in the fourth house. There isn't so much sweetness in the eighth house, not even in the 12th house, in the other, let's say, watery houses. But the champion of sweetness is the fourth house, is the sweetness of the mother feeding her baby in her chest. That's so sweet and warm. And the fourth house represents all this tenderness and sweetness and warmth of a mother feeding her baby. So when two people who activate synastrically the fourth house meet, first, they have the impression that we know each other, that This man reminds me of my father, my brother, my uncle that I love, that I sympathize. I feel I have good feelings for that uncle of mine. And this man reminds me of my beloved uncle, or vice versa. This woman reminds me of my mother, my sister, or my auntie, my beloved auntie. So there is a feeling that I already know this person, and this creates an approach, an easy approach between the two, and an easiness, because when two people come together, they get alarms. They are afraid actually of each other because they somehow invade each other's personal space. And we don't want anybody to invade our personal space. That we keep for ourselves. Even in an intimate relationship, each party of the couple attends and takes care of her personal space. But when two people get to know each other for the first time, they come very close, and hard and difficult energies are developed, and many times they feel insecurity out of this approach, out of the other person invading, in brackets, their personal space. But when the fourth house is activated in a synastry, this procedure goes smoothly. You don't get upset by the other person coming close to you because you somehow feel that person as a familiar person. It reminded me, he's like my father, my brother, my beloved uncle. So I don't get upset by that person coming close to me.
My husband's moon is right on my fourth house cusp on the IC. And the moment I met him, he felt like home, and I wanted to have a family with him. So it feels like
See,
safe and
yeah.
home. And we love spending time at home. When I'm with him, I just want to have more babies and cook and stay home.
That's amazing.
And I'm an Aries, 4 planets
That's
there.
that's great. I mean, that's fourth house stuff.
Yeah,
You want to be with that person. You want to be in the same house. You want to have a family and many kids with that person. It overactivates the Cancerian energies, such a configuration. So it's important to a couple having an activated fourth house as well, right?
absolutely.
So thank you, Thomas Gazzes. I've got sites practicing relationship astrology. You can see it here. It's Thomas Relationship Astrologer .eu, or you may email me at astrologhia, G8, astrologhia, yahoo.com, right? Thank you so much. Thank you, Lada, for giving me the opportunity. If you have any questions, or our friends have any questions, please, I would like to answer.
Thank you so much, Thomas. I learned so much in such an easy way. That makes so much sense. Thank you for. I've noticed Aries are very often very good at making complex things very easy to understand and simple, and explain, breaking it down like one is a child to explain it. I absolutely loved your knowledge that you shared with us. And again, if
Thank
anyone
you.
would like to connect with Thomas, I'll put the link below as well in the description. You can contact him. He's incredible synastry astrologer,
Thank you.
not
Thank you.
just synastry, a lot, many different astrology topics. And I'll be looking forward to have you again with such incredible knowledge, Thomas.
Thank you so much, Lada.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you. Hope you
Bye.
learned something new.